Okay, let's get straight to it. For anyone really pushing their limits, leading a team out on the field, or just chasing that next big goal, there's this constant fight against mental clutter.
Those nagging irritations, the distractions that just seem to sabotage your focus.
Exactly. It really chips away at you.
It's like being lost, isn't it? Phil Stutz and Barry Michaels, they capture this perfectly in the tools. They call it the maze.
The maze, right.
You get trapped in these, loops of frustration, maybe replaying something negative over and over. It's surprisingly hard to just snap out of it.
And as Coach Ed Padalecki really stresses, getting caught like that, it has a real cost.
A huge cost. Think about all that mental energy just circling the drain.
Energy you desperately need for high performance, for effective leadership, for actually hitting those big goals.
It's wasted potential, just plain and simple. And that's precisely where Coach Padalecki introduces this concept of active love.
Active love.
Oh, and it's not some fuzzy, abstract thing. He presents it as a really practical shift in your mindset. It's specifically designed, he says, to help high performers cut through that mental fog.
And get back that laser focus.
Exactly, to regain clarity.
So, okay, that's our mission for this deep dive then. We're going to really unpack active love.
Understand the psychology behind it.
Right, what makes it tick. And, crucially, figure out how you can actually start using this, right away, to sharpen your own mental clarity and ultimately boost your performance.
Makes sense. Because if you look at truly elite performers across any field, there's a common denominator. They are masters of their internal world just as much as the external competition.
Absolutely. It's not enough just to have the best strategy or put in the most hours. Managing that mental state is key.
It really is.
And Coach Padalecki connects active love to some really solid ideas from sports psychology, starting with cognitive reframing.
Cognitive reframing is about shifting your perspective, right? Taking a negative thought or motion and consciously looking at it differently, more productively.
Right.
What's interesting is how Coach P positions active love here. It's almost like a proactive reframing tool.
How do you mean?
Well, instead of just reacting after the negative feeling hits, practicing active love seems to prime your brain. So when those irritations do pop up, that shift towards a more constructive view feels more automatic, less effortful.
Ah, okay. So you're training your default response in a way.
Sort of. And Coach Padalecki also weaves in the idea of emotional agility. It's not about suppression. It's acknowledging the feeling like frustration or annoyance, understanding its message maybe, and then consciously choosing how to move forward.
Okay.
And active love gives you a concrete method, a technique, to engage with that initial negative hit and then consciously redirect your attention, your energy.
So you don't get bogged down. You notice it, and you have a specific action to take to shift gears.
Precisely. Instead of getting stuck in those emotional weeds, you've got a tangible tool.
And this links directly to managing mental energy, which neuroscience definitely supports.
Oh, absolutely. Negative emotions, things like frustration, anger, resentment, they are serious cognitive drains.
They just eat up bandwidth.
Totally. Bandwidth you need for strategic thinking, for problem solving, for maintaining that intense focus that defines peak performance.
So active love acts like an interrupt signal for that energy drain.
That's a good way to put it. It helps you stop that drain and consciously channel that energy back towards productive thinking, towards focus.
Which really underscores the core point here. If you want sustained high performance, having a go-to strategy to quickly clear out that mental clutter isn't just helpful.
It's essential. It's fundamental.
And Coach Padalecki lays out a very clear 4-step process for actually practicing active love, making it part of your routine.
That's quite practical. Step 1, according to Coach P, is simply noticing. Recognizing when you've actually fallen into that mental trap.
Becoming aware of that first flash of annoyance or frustration.
Right. And the key insight here, especially for high performers, is to see that awareness not as a failure, but as the first positive step towards getting back in control.
Catching it early, before it spirals.
Exactly. Then step 2 is a very deliberate physical and mental shift. Breathe. Take a deep breath. And consciously move your focus from all that churning in your head down into your chest, your heart area.
Moving from head to heart. It's not about teaching logic, is it?
No, not at all. It's about connecting with a place of maybe more emotional clarity or calm. And Coach Padalecki adds specific technique here. Try a gentle smile.
Just smiling, even if you don't feel like it.
What's fascinating neurologically is that even a slight intentional smile can trigger neurotransmitters linked to positive feeling. It's like a little neurological trick. A quick way to just subtly disrupt that negative feedback loop that's starting up in your brain. A micro reset.
Okay, breathe, shift focus, gentle smile. What's step 3?
Step 3 is where the love part really comes in. Reframe with compassion.
Compassion. Okay.
Coach Padalecki challenges you to actively look for something positive, even small, about the person or situation that's irritating you.
That sounds potentially difficult in the heat of the moment.
It can be, and Coach P acknowledges that. For high performers who are maybe focused on efficiency, if finding something positive feels like too much of a stretch right then,
Yeah.
he offers a very pragmatic alternative. Just consider the possibility that this other person might be dealing with their own stuff, challenges you can't see.
Ah, okay. So it's not about making excuses for them.
Not at all. It's about creating a little mental distance for yourself. A space for empathy, maybe, which naturally diffuses your own negative charge.
Got it. That makes sense. And the final step.
Step 4, send active love. Coach Padalecki describes it as a mental visualization. Picturing yourself directing a feeling and energy of just, goodwill or warmth from your heart towards that person.
Okay.
And he's really clear on this point. The primary beneficiary here is you, the one practicing it. It's not really about trying to magically change the other person.
Right. That's a crucial distinction, especially for a performance mindset.
Absolutely. The act itself, consciously generating and directing that positive intention, helps you release that internal grip of resentment or frustration.
So it brings you back to equilibrium. Clears your head.
That's the goal. Regaining your emotional balance and mental clarity. Fast.
So it sounds straightforward enough on paper, but why does Coach Padalecki believe this works so well, specifically for high performers, people operating under pressure?
Well, there are a few key reasons he points to. First, as we've touched on, it's all about staying in the zone, maintaining flow.
Right. Minimizing disruptions.
Exactly. High performers thrive on unwavering focus. Active love offers a quick, effective way to redirect your attention away from that derailment, that irritation, and get it back onto what actually matters, your task.
So it shortens that mental recovery time after you get knocked off track.
Precisely. Like a rapid mental reset button. Get back in the zone faster.
And doing that consistently must build resilience, right?
Inherently. That's the second point. By regularly practicing this, you're essentially training your brain not to get thrown off course so easily by minor annoyances or frustrations.
You build tolerance.
You build the capacity to stay locked in, focused, engaged, even when things aren't perfect, despite those inevitable bumps in the road.
Which is huge. And Coach Padalecki also makes a strong connection between active love and better leadership.
Yes, because think about it. Truly effective leadership rarely comes from purely emotional reactions.
True. It needs thoughtfulness, strategy.
Right, and leaders who've cultivated this ability, who can deploy something like active love in challenging moments, are much more likely to respond with composure, with wisdom, with a strategic view.
Rather than just reacting emotionally.
Exactly. Which in turn fosters a more stable, more productive, more positive environment for everyone on their team.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so tying this all together, Coach Padalecki's approach seems very action-oriented.
Definitely.
So here's a direct challenge for you listening right now. Inspired by Coach P, try this, like right now, or the next time you feel that flicker of irritation.
Okay. First step. Think of a recent situation, or maybe a person, that caused you some of that friction, that annoyance.
Got it. Okay. Now take that conscious, deep breath. Feel your focus shift, even slightly, toward your chest, your heart area, and let a small, gentle smile touch your lips.
Even if it feels a bit forced at first, now actively try to reframe. Look for that tiny positive, or if that's tough, just consider what unseen pressures might they be under. Extend a little compassion internally.
And finally, visualize it. Imagine directing a quiet wave of positive energy, active love outward from yourself. Remember, this is for your benefit, primarily, to release your tension.
Just do that for a moment and then pause. Really notice, do you feel any shift, however small, in your own internal state, in your energy level?
Coach Padalecki argues that mastering this seemingly simple technique unlocks something incredibly powerful and often overlooked for peak performance.
What he calls mental freedom.
Mental freedom, the ability to choose your state regardless of external annoyances.
Which really leaves us with a compelling question for you to think about.
Yeah.
How might consistently applying this practice, active love, not just change how you react in the moment to irritations?
But how could it fundamentally reshape your entire approach, your interactions, how you face challenges, and ultimately what you're capable of achieving? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.